Hello and welcome to this month's Maggie Moment. I have had a few parents have a chat to me about their concerns about their children's self-esteem, so I thought I'd do a Maggie Moment on that. The first thing I want to say is self-esteem is never fixed. Have you ever had a time where you went on holiday and you came back weighing like 5 kilos more and you didn't want to put on any weight? You don't feel as good about yourself, do you, when you get home? Have you eaten all the chocolate? You know, all those things. So we know it moves around. And there is a significant difference between self-esteem and self-worth. So the self-esteem part is how we see and evaluate ourselves, and it's an ongoing thing. So you never feel as good about yourself when you've been growled at, yelled at, or shamed or criticised. You feel absolutely crushed. Your self-esteem is crushed. However, we can recover that with the behaviours of the significant carers around us. So we know it's not fixed. It doesn't always have to stay down. Secondly, self-worth is more the belief within yourself that who you are is worthwhile and valuable. And so as grown-ups, quite often we can have days where our self-esteem swings around, and yet we feel quite comfortable with our self-worth. But our kids are still developing that, though. So that's why they can be, have days they feel really mournful and really sad. So what is self-esteem? It's more how you feel and evaluate yourself. And it's made up of two things I think there's over 100 definitions of self-esteem, but this is the one I like the best. It makes most sense. Dr. Nathaniel Branden, who was formerly considered the father of self-esteem, says it's two things: self-efficacy and self-acceptance, self-love, worth. So the first one is self-efficacy is a big fancy word that means what can I do for myself? So all of us, when we're capable of looking after ourselves, doing things to meet our basic needs, we can already have a reasonable sense of self-esteem. So when we need people to do things for us all the time, you can't develop that sense of I'm okay, I can do things. So celebrate riding the bike without trainer wheels, conquering the monkey bar, scooting up and down, a skate ramp, whatever it is for kids. The ta-da moments really help to shape that sense of how I evaluate myself. If I can't do anything, then it's tricky. So you can see why that can be challenging for kids who have extra challenges in life, whether it's physical or cognitive or emotional. So you can see why building small steps of self-efficacy for them will help the way they see themselves. Secondly, self-acceptance. Now I'm going to say the way that us grown-ups give ourselves this second part of it is we go, yeah, I know I mucked up today, but I'm a good mum. I'm a nice human. I'm a decent person. We can actually override it with our cognitive processes of core self-acceptance. But kids can't do that. They don't have the same brain architecture to be able to do that. So how do they do the second part of self-esteem? It's what we mirror back to them. The words we use, the way we speak to them, the way we connect with them. Yep, that's how they see it. So again, a really positive message is that it moves around all the time, that helping your children build their confidence and competence will help them feel better about themselves. But it's what we reflect back to them. And I have a message from when my 8-year-old son came to me at one point. He was my challenging whoopsie number 3 and said, you keep calling me a pain in the neck, Mum. I think it's going to damage my self-esteem. He was technically right. I did reframe my language and I agreed with him. So every now and then, if all we're using are shaming words, we are actually crushing the growth of that sense of self. So again, I want you to keep it in mind. It's moving around all the time, but it's the self-worth that we can develop under our children, that they are beautiful human beings exactly as they are, even when they muck up, that who they are is on this earth as a one-offer, and our job is to help them become that. Then we can have both some self-esteem some days and some self-worth, hopefully, more often than that. So I hope that helps you to understand. Self-esteem, we're all still working on it, aren't we? Says she, who just came back from a holiday having eaten possibly a little bit too much chocolate. And that's all for me this month.